Hi, folks. So you may hear that I'm pretty darn exhausted, which I am. The last few weeks have been rather intense. Just been moving house and relocating and everything else that goes on with the times that we live in a way. And anyway, so I was just in the bath now, and it's so strange. Like, you have these real, different moments where you just feel the weight of reality, you feel the weight of your situation, your circumstances, the challenges. You sometimes feel hard done by, you feel grief, you feel saddened. You have those moments, you feel in such a quandary, you feel, maybe there isn't much meaning to what's going on. Like, you have hope that there is meaning and you trust that there is, but it's, you're not very confident with it, or you're not very in touch with that feeling, and then you have the other moments where you are just not acknowledging, also appreciating or recognizing that it's all the great teacher. That the whole experience of life is a lesson, right? You're being taught something, okay, through everything in your life. And I wouldn't say that there's a joy in it, but like when I was lying in the bath now and reflecting over just how challenging things have been, and being able to see it, not that I didn't see it while going through it all, and still am going through it all, we're going through life, but you have those moments where you step outside briefly, so to speak, and in different ways, through meditation, psychedelics, having a bath, music or something or other, I don't know, whatever it might be, a mystical moment out in nature, where you just feel the stress is just for that moment, and the reality of the circumstances just melt away for a brief moment and leave you with a space which you are more willing, more able, and more present to appreciate and acknowledge, right? That it's all a great teacher. Okay? And it's really, those are wonderful moments, and they're very healing. It's very much a healing moment. And it's I wouldn't even say joyous or anything like that, or ecstasy, or enlightenment or something like that, whatever. It's an awareness, it's a spaciousness, it's a recognition, it's an acknowledgement, it's an understanding, only in that moment. But it gets stronger, I think. I mean, I've definitely adapted or incorporated into my life an attitude, I would say, of even when I'm in the thick of it, that it's not that I don't have the strength or the ability or the know-how to manage my way through the thick of it, and that it's all plays a very relevant part in my narrative, in the human narrative, and in my destiny, my purpose of being, or my development, or something or other. Right? So I get better at it. If you want to say, I can hold the faith more so. Right? But again, so it's not so much, so it's about the faith, but it's just like, it's also relinquishing, folks. It's a relinquishing of, like, I find for myself, a lot of not just the person who I used to be, but that which I could control or influence, or that which was familiar in my life, in a way. A little bit, not so-called the certainties, I don't know, the familiarity of things. Which is maybe a sense of identity, in a way. Maybe it's a relationship to reality, to physical objects, to certain types of meaning, certain types of relationships. But what I'm saying is that when it all starts to shape-shift, right? And that's what's going on in the world today. It's all shape-shifting. Like the future, right? Just shape-shifting and changing, and right, it's like, where's the next step to take? How's it going to unfold? Where's this taking me? Where's this taking the planet? Where's this taking everything? It's plot twists all the time, and so sometimes you feel a bit disorientated, and that's what's tough. Also, what's hard is that you realize that the information, not just about the world and the environments and viruses and overpopulation and, just natural disasters or whatever it is, or just zombie, like individual, becoming narcissistic, the spread of narcissism, etc. It's not just that information, but it's your awareness. It's like, I've spoken about this before, that who often needs TV when you've got the greatest movie going on within your narrative, within your awareness? There is just so much information to look at, to see, how am I feeling from this move to this move? How am I, what impact did this have on my life? And now that thing is gone, how like when you look at, and I look in my journal and say, look how different I am to the way that I was there. Look at the way of seeing that I had then, that perspective, and now I have such a different type of perspective on things. Something like that, and you realize how much you've changed, and you realize how much you could revisit ideas that you've had, beliefs that you had or still hold, or whatever it is. Taking stock, you've outgrown these relationships, you've made other relationships or something like that. You were interested in art, but now, in pencil drawing, but now you only paint. Before you played the guitar, and then you played only the piano. Like, you've changed, you've evolved, and you're looking at the reality and life afresh all the time. And so that's one way of perspective of seeing things, and also what lies beneath the veil and the surface of things. Like on the psychology of people, your own psychology. You notice how much more you're able to be aware of your own thoughts, right? Which aren't authentic thoughts or something like that, your programmed thoughts. Or you can recognize your thoughts that are fearful thoughts. You can catch yourself more so in the unconscious ways. You can be, and you can see that, so you can understand your own self better, and others as well. And then also you can understand more so the spiritual nature of things. You're connecting more and more dots all the time, and in so many different facets and areas of life. And so there's much to be done, there's much to be thought of. There's so much for myself. Like, I like to see how I feel in different environments. I like to take in the energy of different places. But also then it's hard because maybe I've had a lot of other, because I'm always finding myself, like I said, anew. And so it's all very novel. It's all very unexpected. And that's the times we live in. I mean, for myself, lately, synchronicities have just been non-stop. I mean, in a certain type of way. Like the other day, I was walking outside on the by a pavement. As I tripped, folks, I'm not making this up. As I tripped, I looked. A slight trip. I didn't fall on my knees or my hands or something like that. But there was a piece of the curb or something. There was a rock, a brick. I don't even know what it was. And I tripped. And as I tripped, I looked at a poster right next to me. And it was about a guy tripping. Okay? It was an advert or something like that. I should have taken a picture of it, actually. But, with all the busy going-onness of things and having to be in my focus of getting to the store that I wanted to get into, or maybe my parking meter, the meter park, it was expiring and I had to get, you're in the rush of things, you don't appreciate it. And so I'm telling you now, I'm not making it up. And then yesterday actually, I was thinking about, I was looking through my cabinet. I was walking to my cabinet, where my food, where I keep my groceries or whatever, tin cans or flour, your grocery cabinet or something like that. And as I was about to open it, I said to myself, I've really been through the mill today. And as I opened the door, there was flour. And it said something mill. I used this unbleached stone ground flour or something like that. Milled. Or something like that. And as I said that word, 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds later, a second later, I saw the word mill. And I've just moved, folks. So the flour is not in the same cupboard as it used to be. It's not even in the same position as it used to be. Okay. But then I saw another thing today as well, which also just blew my mind. It was the word extra, and I was thinking that there was somebody they went the extra mile for me, okay, which was amazing. It was really wonderful. It was a guy who was installing something in my house or whatever, was fixing something in my old house and just doing a bit of a job, and he went the extra mile. I was thinking, I remember that guy went the extra mile, and as I looked at the word, thought of the word extra, I looked up and it was like extra credit now, today, or something like that. And I was like, this happened at the airport. And so, folks, synchronicities. Even when you're talking about something, and and as you get to the point of what you're saying, the door creaks, the window blows open, or something or other. I was watching, I'm going on a bit here. I was watching an interview on the guy named, I'm going to forget his name now. He's a healer from Australia. He's an incredible guy. They got a show on him, Goldsmith. What is his name? A guy I would say in his early 40s or late 30s. Amazing, incredible individual. It's really slipped my mind. But he basically just sits with his hands, held together, and the person's in front of him, and he heals them. And Charlie, I think it's Charlie Gold, I could be wrong, but you could type in Australian healer. It's really worthwhile to check this guy out. I think that his series was called The Healer. I didn't watch the whole thing, but you can just watch. There's one about this child that it's just amazing what he does. And so they're interviewing him on TV, on one of these Australian talk show, whatever it is, and he's busy talking about something, and as he gets to the point, a picture falls off the wall behind him. And there's about 3 TV presenters there, and they all get a bit of a fright, but the one guy really gets, the presenter gets a real shock, like, that has never happened, ever, in my, whatever, and Charlie just basically, so the guy says to Charlie, the presenter says, "Did you do that?" And Charlie says, "No, not really." He says, or something, he jokes, he says, "Okay, I did, give me a few minutes, I'll do it again, But he was joking, it was tongue in cheek, and then they moved on from the conversation. But I don't know, by mistake pressed my screen. Yeah, anyway, so we don't, You can take it for granted. Well, we often do because in the busyness of things. But I don't know, folks, it's really stepping it up a notch now, synchronicities. It's coincidences and, whatever it is, and certain things falling into place, so to speak, in a way, but obviously at the same time, other things not falling into place. Yeah, folks, so coming back to what I was saying and ending off on this, is that, I did a talk, and I really need to upload it, about Andy Dufresne exiting Shawshank Redemption through the tunnel, the sewerage tunnel, the raw sewage. And in those moments, him not really being able to see that not just that experience of the raw sewage that he's in, but his whole, I think it was 20 years of being in Shawshank as being the great teacher. You see, because of also our emotional states, him leaving the prison, yes, he's going to feel relief, freedom, excitement, appreciation. He's going to feel a whole lot of mixed emotion, but at the same time, the mixed emotion is going to feel massive grief for how he was contained and held against his will, and how he was put in prison justifiably or unjustified. I don't know, I'm tired, And so I just left this house after 13 months. I mean, can you believe it? That's also another synchronicity. That I was only supposed to be there for 12 months. I wanted to get out this lease a good 6-7 months ago because I had 2 break-ins, house break-ins, one when I was asleep. And then I had other incidences in the house of people stealing the copper, from the plumbing and the piping in the middle of the night, and the water just pouring through the roof, and just horrible incidences, and not feeling safe. And the house itself felt absolutely sterile. It's just a very, and so for myself, finally got out of it, and I feel like, wow, amazing. But at the same time, I just have so many mixed emotions. What did I just go through? What have I go? And that's what we feel about life. So at times we're going to have the mixed emotions, right? We're going to have these. We're going to go through it, and that's part of it. So it's okay, but ideally, what we're wanting to be reaching towards is a knowingness, or a trust rather, and an allowing and surrendering to that it's a great teaching. It's easier to say it in my comforting moments now when it's late at night and I'm lying in bed, and whatever it is, but it's not easy tomorrow. Anything, a phone call away, and chaos is unleashed. Chaos is unleashed in the world right now. I mean, there's no question about it. So it's easy for me. But it's not easy when you're being traumatized. It's not easy when you're going through the raw sewage, right? And so it's to be honoring yourself for how you feel about that, right? And not giving up through that process. And having the faith and having the hope. Hope is such a bittersweet thing. It really is. It really is. And I think the most important is not falling victim. That's the big thing. Is not feeling victimized. I mean, like, I know one of my listeners in particular, I don't know if people are comfortable with me mentioning their names actually, but one of my dear lady friends, severe pain, physical pain, severe, where she's not very mobile. She has a good and not so good days. And I mean, to see that as her pain as the teacher, as the, I mean, it's very difficult. It's very, very hard. And there is so much suffering in this life. So on your better days, you can see it as the teacher. On your other days, you can just manage to hold your breath and get through it alive as best as you can. So it's different kind of experiences, folks. We've got to appreciate and understand that. All right, folks, I'm going to end up on that. 19 minutes. Can't do a short talk, eh? All right, we'll chat soon. Take care.